Hello and welcome to this week's Glasstire Top 5 as we give December 28th, 2017. I'm Christina Rees.
And I'm Brandon Zech.
And so last week Rainey and I were on and we gave you a little preview. We said we were going to do the top 5 New Year's resolutions for the art world. We've done a lot of talking about this, all of us at Glasstire. And the thing that I think makes the most sense as a New Year's resolution, one that's quite encompassing, is what we say every single week at the end of every single top 5. We either say it or we put it in text: go see some art. And while no one likes to be told what to do. I mean, we just don't. But I do think there's a reason for us to go over this a little bit as a possible New Year's resolution that can be sort of good for everyone here in Texas. So that's our New Year's resolution, is go see some art. We already do it. We could all probably do it a little more. Maybe there's some people out there who do it absolutely as much as they possibly can, and that's great. Right on. But I will say, just to kick off the conversation, for me, one of the best reasons to get out to see art, and there's so much art. I mean, Texas is a wash in art. Almost wherever you are, there's something that you can go see, but it's a way to get you off the internet. That's kind of one of my number one reasons for wanting to. Anytime I'm stuck at home and working and I'm online all day, that's when I start to feel craziest. It's when I'm traveling and I'm getting out and seeing stuff that I start to feel sane again and plugged in again. But you can take this part of this conversation from here.
Well, so getting out and getting off the internet obviously promotes face-to-face dialogue, but that's so much of our job as people who are interested in art and going to see art that we understand that people, you, the viewer, might not be able to do that as much as we do, but there's something so rewarding about it, and there's something so rewarding from all of the dialogue that comes out of it, either talking to gallerists or talking to other people you run into while seeing it. So it's very much a social, almost a networking side for artists that is networking. Going to openings, going to galleries, going and seeing art is a way to connect to other human beings that obviously share some sort of common interest. Going and seeing things is how, or one of the many ways, you support artists and you support nonprofits and you support galleries and you support institutions. There's other ways you can do that, by giving or by buying a piece of art from a gallery, and those are great ways to support also, but you're probably not going to do either of those things if you don't go see the art.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to buy the piece of art unless you go see it in a show, unless you buy it off Instagram, which is the whole other problem of getting off the internet and going and seeing the art.
You know, there's a certain amount of work that has been made for the internet at this point. That's a given. But still, 90% of the stuff, 98% of the work that's out there is really made to be seen in person and experienced in person. And so this, goes back into the twofold thing of what you're saying. One is, it's a way to support the artists and the institutions, the nonprofit spaces. This is a labor of love for most people. Even the commercial galleries in Texas really struggle. It's just not an easy market. It never is. And then just also, a nonprofit artist-run space, that is the definition of a labor of love. Showing up is one way that you show people that you're paying attention and you appreciate what they're doing. And, as the arts are increasingly under fire in this political shit show that we're dealing with right now, we have an administration who would almost like to just abolish the arts. This is a way to double down on your love and appreciation for the world that we deal with, the world that we love and that we care about, that we care so much about.
Kind of our next point, it reminds us of our humanity. It's so easy. Again, of course, everything nowadays goes back to the internet connection, but being on the internet makes you forget that people that you're interacting with are actual people who have lives and stories and so many things happening that you don't know about, or that you will never know about, or that you could never know about. Going and seeing a piece of art and saying, I don't like that, reminds you that you're a person and you have strong opinions and you can really kind of feel something. And the same thing if you really love an artwork. It's the same sort of feeling, the same sort of gratification, the same sort of reaction. And you can't do that by looking at an image or by not talking to anyone about it.
Or not talking to anyone about it. I mean, the idea that if the myopic world we start to inhabit when we're online all the time also is that we're just getting our ideas and opinions from everyone else rather than making up our own minds about things. And you can't make up your own mind about something if you haven't experienced it in person.
Well, and that, of course, is the other point of art is complex. And it's something that you need to stand in front of and digest. And, I always think about, I see pieces of art online or on Instagram, and I want there to be the face front shot. I want there to be the shot from the side to see how much impasto there is. I want there to be all these different angles where it would almost turn into a photo shoot of the piece of art. And the really simple way to get around that is to just go see the darn thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in Houston or Dallas or any of our big cities in Texas, you can generally just get in your car and go. That's true. Art is very, very complicated, and there's something about, again, this online world that's reducing it and flattening it in all different kinds of ways, including, and a lot of our best art is so complicated or complex, it's not even particularly categorizable. There's almost no way to process that fully without having experienced it. And it feels good when you do. I mean, I don't know if we're to this last point yet, but
I think we're there.
I think we are too. It just feels good. It just makes you, it makes you feel more human. It's fun. To me, it's incredibly inspiring. It makes me want to do something.
It makes me want to write or go home and make art or go home and talk to someone and have a conversation. Going and seeing art inspires everything else around it. So everything that we are talking about, that's why it's all umbrellaed under the resolution of going to see art, is because it inspires so many things that are so much more than just the piece of art you're going to see.
Yeah, and absolutely, you can see a show that you don't even particularly like, but your takeaway from that is informative. It's expanded your horizon in some way or another. You've taken back some of your own agency in terms of deciding how you feel about it, and then you can have conversations about it with other people who've seen the show. You can even have conversations about it with the artist himself or herself if they're willing to do so. It's enriching. That's all there is to it. That's why we do this. That's why we care about it. And that's why we implore you, generally with a sense of fun, to go see some art at the end of every week. We mean it. We just mean it. And we're reminding ourselves of it at the same time.